going to be reading Frank Jr.'s First Pumpkin, a Halloween story. Let's get to reading. Frankie's First Pumpkin. The beginning of the story. Book? Or say book? No, let's read. Dad! The Boonville Pumpkin Carving Contest is in 3 days. May I carve a pumpkin this year, Dad? Frank Jr. burst through the doors, full of excitement. He almost ran into his sister, Francie. Dad's in the library, Francie said, straightening her hair. So you think you're old enough to enter a pumpkin this year, huh, Frankie? Here's the picture, everyone. I've been studying the winter entries for the past 3 years. As a matter of fact, now I feel able to handle the various carving tools that... Yeah, said Francie, waving her hand. It's Frank Jr., not Frankie, Frank Jr. muttered as he went to the library. Guys, also, there's something on the page that is a famous. Put your guess in the comments, and what you get right, we'll give a shout out. Good luck! There sat Frank Sr. reading a book on the history of English language. Dad! The pumpkin carving contest is coming up and I want to enter this year. Will you go with me to get a pumpkin? Frank Sr. put down his book and smiled at his friend. Certainly, my lad. Let's be off at once, shall we? I have the greatest dad, thought Frank Jr. Let's read some more. Through the yard, down the street, across the field went the father and the son till they reached the largest pumpkin patch in Boonville. It was owned by an old man, Screech, who looked scary, but it was really a soft, scary, but soft at heart. So soft. Every year, Mr. Screech let Boonville kid pick out a pumpkin from this pumpkin patch. This year, Frank Jr. was going to get his very own. He would choose it and carve it, and win that contest. He just knew it. I'm part human and part witch. Frank Jr. took off through the pumpkin patch. It was a squat oval, quite different, said Frank Jr. I don't know, a voice said. Frank Jr. turned. There stood his dad.
It's not a good pumpkin, son,
his dad said, quite confident. At the middle should be roundly equal, confronted. The what? Said Frank Jr. It's a simple matter of geometry, son. What I mean is that a pumpkin should be more round if you want to carve the best face. I have the smartest dad, thought Frank Jr. So here's the picture for the first one. Then here's the picture for the second one. See, it's already... Look at that beautiful sunset in the background. Hand, please come help me. Thank you, Hand. If you don't help me, I will put a spell on you. Frank Jr. went off once more through the wonderful rows of pumpkin. He looked at a small pumpkin, big pumpkin, oval pumpkin, lopsided pumpkins. Then he found a really interesting pumpkin. It was perfectly round. I don't know. It was his dad again. He was rubbing his chin. One should avoid a pumpkin with bubble bouts precision. With what? Frank Jr. asked. You should try to find a smooth pumpkin. That is if you want to carve the best face, Frank Sr. said. Frank Jr. sighed. I have the pickiest dad, he thought. Frank Jr. Look at his face. He's sad. Poor Frankie. Frank Jr. shuffled through another row of pumpkins. He knew his dad was right behind him. Every time he knelt down to look at a pumpkin, he was to say, his dad say, well, or And Frank Jr. knew he had not found the right pumpkin. I have the noisiest dad, he thought as he plopped slowly past each interesting oval, bumpy, or speckled pumpkin. Finally, Frank Jr. came across a perfectly round, perfectly smooth pumpkin. He stopped and looked it over. Well, said his dad, here it comes, said Jr. One should look for uniformity of color when selecting a member in the Gordon family. I want to say something that goes to the book. He has the most pickiest, probably the most noisiest, pickiest, like, if you want to be the best face, kind of dad. Let's keep reading. Frank Jr. took a deep breath, then looked at his dad, big and tall, and said, I respect your advice, Dad, but I look up to you all the time. But I want to pick out my own pumpkin. I want to carve it all by myself. And what are you saying, son? I'm saying lay off, Dad, please. That is funny. There was an awful silence, a terrible silence. Silent as Frank Jr. felt his tummy flip-flop, then a smile made its way across his sad face. But of course, my lad, you're absolutely right. Let me know when you found your pumpkin. And then did I show you guys the picture? I bet I didn't. Okay, guys. Mrs. Hand! Thank you. I'll need your help in a minute, too, so don't go back to eating that sandwich. Thank you. Now you can go back to your sandwich. Yes, exclaimed Frank Jr. Yes, he exclaimed Frank Jr. as he ran off through the patch once again. My own pumpkin, my first pumpkin. Careful, he looked over long rows of pumpkin, imagining the face he would carve. He saw his friend Wilson carrying a big round pumpkin. There went Denton with a smooth pumpkin. Kate walked by with a small bright orange pumpkin. But mine will be the best, thought Frank Jr. Here's pictures. Then he saw it, the most wonderful pumpkin he's ever seen. He could not believe it. It was still left in the patch. It was beautiful. It was amazing. It was so interesting. It was perfect, said Frank Jr. He waved to his dad and then felt a lump come up to his throat. He won't like this pumpkin. I just know it, he thought glumly. Frank Sr. walked over with the wagon. He looked at the pumpkin, then he looked at his friend. It's a fine pumpkin, he said. Thanks, Dad, said Frank Jr. with a sigh of relief. Thanks, Dad. and the sun began to set. His father and son walked home, pulling the finest first pumpkin behind them. I have the greatest dad, thought Frank Jr. There's the pictures. For 2 whole days, Frank Jr. studied, he planned, and he carved his first pumpkin. He would not let his mom or dad, and especially not his sister, watch him work. I'm going to do this on my own, he told them. He gently sat it down with all the other pumpkins on the table. They were perfectly round pumpkins, smooth pumpkins, perfectly orange pumpkins. For a moment, Frank Jr. thought about taking this pumpkin back. No, he said. I like this pumpkin, and this pumpkin likes me. It may not be perfect to everyone, but it's perfect to me. All the kids gathered to look at the pumpkins. Moms and Dad walked up in ooh and ah over the scary faces. The judges strolled around looking serious. They studied the pumpkins. They frowned. They smiled. They wrote on their notepads. Then they put their heads together and whispered. Finally, one judge stepped and announced, "The pumpkin carvers of Boonville, once again outdone yourselves. But however, there's one pumpkin that stands out from all the rest. It's creative, it's unusual, it's unexpected, it's short, it's fabulous. Congratulations to Frank Jr. He had won. He had really won. His ovally bumpy greenish pumpkin had won. Frank Jr.'s friends cheered. His mom gave him a huge hug. Even his sisters smiled and said, "Congrats, congrats, Frankie." But when his dad, who was the proudest of all, it was a perfect pumpkin, son. Excellent job. I wanted to carve the best face, Frank Jr. said. And I did, Dad, I did. Okay, guys, that's the end of Frank Jr.'s very first pumpkin. Well, if you like this video, make sure you give us a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell next to it so you never miss a video. See you next time on Adventures with AMP. Bye!